by cops than black people do, because there are more white people in this country. But if you're new here, maybe sit the fuck down, shut the fuck up. Maybe if you're unaware of my, commentary on the matter.
Even performing CPR on a 9-year-old
Dumbass that a
child
woman
whose
would never.
injuries he describes as horrific.
I'm starting to begin to process what just happened, but I mean, at the beginning, I just did what I thought I should do, which is not leave and try and help a little bit. But
kind of a shit take, my dude. Was the shit take?
It's happening in everyone's community. Somebody with a gun perched up on a building taking aim on 2 corners. That's where all the people were killed. Their bodies were blown up. The people who died, the people who had body bags over them immediately, their bodies were blown up. The other injuries.
This guy said running ads while covering this. Holy shameless. Yeah, dude, you're right. I should violate my contract.
Simply horrific. And again, the search for that gunman continues. And even though this area does continue on lockdown, really, it's mostly just law enforcement.
Also, notice how every fucking outlet runs way more ads. So suck my dick. You care more about having your words be known, having your centering the conversation around yourself than a fucking mass shooting.
Probably
you fucking piece of shit.
Literally
my off day. I'm not even supposed to be fucking streaming right now, and you're in here to just cry.
Highland Park. I'm Michelle Gallardo, ABC
Suck my dick.
Eyewitness News. Back to you in the studio.
All right, Michelle. Stand by. A couple of questions for you as you're right there. Earlier, we heard
the shooter is still at
from
large.
the officials that there was a lot of use of canines and drones, and it's slightly cloudy out there right now. I know that the airspace there, FAA had just tweeted that the airspace is restricted. What are you feeling about all that? You've been around these kinds of situations before, about how active this investigation is around where you are right now.
So, Ravi, we're
going to have a lot of weirdos in here because I interacted with a bunch of different communities
they were being used
over the past week.
So
all their haters are probably in here. They're probably saying some fucking idiotic shit.
Of the business where this gunman is said to have been centered. We did just see a canine come past us, but again, to be honest, especially the last couple of hours, there seems to be a more relaxed attitude in the area, so to speak, in the sense that I would expect if they really thought that this gunman were still here, they would keep us several blocks away, for example. We would not be allowed this close. So that all leads us to believe, and of course officials have said that it is very possible that this gunman simply got away in the ensuing chaos as all of these people were evacuating the area. He could have very easily blended in with those people and gotten away as well.
Michelle, certainly he's gotten away so far because we've not been told that that gunman is in police custody. We do have somebody that's telling members of our I-team that there are mandatory evacuations that are going on right now. They've not been specific about where some of those mandatory evacuations are happening. I'm just curious if you've seen anything like that other than people being let out of the businesses in the Central Business District.
We have not been a witness to any of that, but again, we are very limited to kind of our very own little corner of the world here, which is Green Bay and Central Avenue. And so I can tell you that the only thing we have seen is that evacuation of the businesses where several of the parade goers had been holed up for several hours, and they were being let out little by little. But other than that, we have not seen any evidence of evacuations, but again, that doesn't mean they're not happening elsewhere. We just haven't seen them occurring where we are just yet.
Okay, Michelle Gallardo in the Central Business District in downtown Highland Park. We'll come back to you in just a little bit after we hear from investigators. Thanks, Michelle. Governor J.B. Pritzker says he's been in communication with local law enforcement. He also tweeted out a statement saying, in part, there are no words for the kind of monster who lies in wait and fires into a crowd of families with children celebrating a holiday with their community. There are no words for the kind of evil that robs our neighbors of their hopes, their dreams, and their futures. The statement goes on to say, quote, prayers alone will not put a stop to the terror of rampant gun violence in our country. I will stand firm with Illinoisans and Americans. We must and we will end this plague of gun violence. President Biden also released this statement on the Highland Park parade tragedy, saying, quote, Jill and I are shocked by the senseless violence that has yet again brought grief to an American community on this Independence Day. As always, we are grateful for the first responders.
Joe Biden be like, if we can figure out a way.
All right, from that, let's take a live shot right now.
FBI is having a press
HD.
conference right now.
This is different. This is over Deerfield in the McDaniel
There's SWAT
area,
activity in Deerfield, and FBI is currently doing a press conference.
So a neighboring community to Highland Park, and you can see law enforcement seems to be active in the streets there. And as we were hearing earlier from Representative Brad Schneider of the 10th District, he actually moved from this city over to Highland Park recently, but this is all part of the broader community that is in his district. And you can see that the police activity there is quite noticeable, and so we will see if that is also part of.
We don't know if this is the shooter,
it is, that
but
is
there is just a lot of activity here.
There, though, just at the moment, standing in the road, carrying on that investigation that we hope to be briefed on in the next few minutes.
So it is all very fluid right now. So we'll go from there and carry on with changes, obviously, to all of this. Many fireworks celebrations in the Chicago area canceled for tonight after that deadly parade shooting.
ABC 7's Rob Elgis has more on that. Rob?
Yeah, Liz and Ravi, FBI Chicago tweeted this out right at the start of our 4 p.m. broadcast. Next press conference held at approximately 4:15 p.m. this afternoon will be carried by all major networks. And you've been mentioning this. Any member of the public with a photo or video of today's incident should contact Highland Park, Illinois police, or the FBI. So interrupt me here as we're going to spend a few minutes going through the list of cancellations in the Chicago area. Ravi and Liz, if you hear anything, just cut me off as that news conference is starting, because obviously they've been providing some critical new information to us as the search for this shooter continues. A lot of cancellations in the Chicago area because of what has happened in Highland Park today. We have a series of graphics. Let's just get right to them. I run through these for you. Arlington Heights Frontier Days canceled. Buffalo Grove Symphonic Band concert and the fireworks show also canceled. Deerfield Family Days and Parade canceled. Elk Grove Village concert and fireworks show. Evanston, the parade was canceled earlier. Concert and fireworks show gone. Glenview parade and fireworks show canceled. Some of these may be parade. Those are already passed because those were going to be earlier in the day, but we're going to show you the fireworks here as well. Itasca fireworks show canceled. A Lake Forest Festival and fireworks show has been canceled. A Libertyville fireworks show, Morton Grove parade, Mount Prospect parade, and Lions Club Festival and fireworks show canceled. Northbrook parade and fireworks show canceled as well. One more screen to show you. Park Forest parade and concert, it's canceled. Rolling Meadows, the fireworks show has been canceled.
Listen, man, if this bums you out, remind yourself that, like, the reason why you can't have nice things, you can't have fun things, is because our legislators are never going to do their fucking jobs. That's what happens. That's what happens when you just, I mean, this is the least meaningful part of this entire thing, but still another consequence of just not having leadership. Incompetent, not interested in genuine change, refusing to I know there's been some severe weather that Larry was reporting on earlier south of us. A lot of these fireworks shows just aren't going to happen tonight because of this horrible tragedy that has happened. Refusing to push back against the gun lobby's influence.
You said it, Rob. That's it's affecting everybody all over the place. Now, thanks to our Rob Elgis for that. We caught up with someone actually who dropped off his kids at that parade route just before the gunfire started.
I just saw people running one way. I knew my girls were up here, and as soon as I got a call that they were safe, we just started triaging people. I have limited first aid experience, so I was mainly taking direction from paramedics, CPR, stopping bleeding, lifting bodies. It's all you could do at this stage, and they needed all the help they could get.
It looks like
it's not something that's supposed to happen here. It's not supposed to happen anywhere. But this would be one of the last places I would think this would happen.
Just terror in that man's voice. All right, take a look at the perimeter right now. This is the current shelter-in-place set of boundaries.
He's right.
That is Green Bay Road in Highland Park over to Laurel
He's right,
Avenue,
dude.
over to St. John's.
When they say that, the hidden truth is, like, this happens in Southside Chicago. This doesn't happen in the white neighborhood in the north.
Christian.
Yeah, hey, Ravi,
you know?
Been here all afternoon.
That's what they mean. And they're right.
Updates.
It happens in the south side of Chicago because it's a man-made war zone down there.
steady flow of guns coming in from out of state with ease, paired up with the violent structural violence of poverty that generationally has afflicted the black community, creates a chaotic, warlike situation there. But of course, we have such a violent fucking culture. And everyone is so atomized. Everyone is so alienated. They have nothing to hold on to but guns, so they fucking push for more rights for guns than they do for women's bodies. And a byproduct of that commodity fetishization is the lack of the lack of regulation, the lack of control around being able to purchase a fucking firearm. And when that happens, when there are 120 guns in circulation to 100 American citizens, of course, when there is no regulation around who can get a gun, of course, some dude who's fucking crazy is going to get his hands on a gun and use it in a parade like this, even in a fucking white neighborhood, even in a rich neighborhood. You can't export all that fucking violence, okay, and not expect it to come back to your doorstep. You can't do 100 years of imperialism, okay, overseas and have a robust industry of death and war in the form of the military-industrial complex with rampant profit-seeking and not expect that surplus supply to be released, to be flooded into the American marketplace. You can't assume that these corporations that are making a killing off of selling these fucking weapons are not going to want to sell it domestically as well. And when you have a government that is completely sold out its own citizens, when you have two parties that have the same corporate masters that put the interests of profits from said corporations ahead of the interests and safety and security of its citizens, you're going to have a situation like this where there's going to be some gun violence in your backyard too. That's just the fucking truth. So for people who say, how could this ever happen here? How could this ever happen here? The most likely thing. Of course it's going to happen there. It's happening everywhere. There is no enclave from this kind of violence. There is no safety and security until we make changes. Anyway, let's hear from the doctors.
So, go ahead. Brigham, you want to lead off?
Sure.
Doctor, can you spell your name and all, please, sir?
Yes, my name is Brigham, Brigham, Temple, Temple. I'm the medical director of emergency preparedness for the North Shore University Health System. You want to introduce yourself?
My name's Mark Talamonti, Talamonti, and I'm the chairman of the Department of Surgery for the North Shore System.
Do you want to start by giving us kind of a brief rundown of what you're doing today?
Sure. So for those of you who didn't hear, just a brief rundown of what occurred today here at Highland Park Hospital. Shortly after the events that occurred in downtown Highland Park, our team here at Highland Park Hospital was notified of multiple victims that were involved in a mass shooting or casualty event. Our team very quickly activated.
You are repeating yourself, Hassan, bro. You came in here making a joke.
Which is for mass.
You came in here originally saying, lol, another fucking shooting, another mass shooting. You know why I'm repeating myself, dumbass. America keeps repeating
ambulances from the emergency medical services system. We received in total about 26 total patients, 10 of which were transported by ambulance. During that time, in a very short amount of time, we had nearly 20 additional physicians and more than 20 additional nursing and support staff here in our emergency department, as well as in other areas of the hospital, to help take care of the patients that were brought in. And all of those individuals came as a result of following our protocols. We also put in a extra safety or security protocol where we locked down the hospital. Hence why we're meeting out here in the parking lot as we continue to try to maintain a very safe environment in our hospital for our patients and our staff.
Doctor, could you talk a little bit about the injuries?
So of the 26 individuals that showed up here at Highland Park Hospital, 25 of those did sustain gunshot wound injuries. Some of them were minor, some of them were much more severe, and some of those patients were in critical condition when they did arrive here to the hospital.
Any commonality between the gunshot injuries? Were they all different parts of the body?
They were all different parts of the body, extremities as well as other more central parts of the body as well.
Do you have any specific number on what conditions those 25 are in? Are there a certain number?
Yeah, so of the 25 who came in with gunshot wounds, 19 of those individuals were able to be treated and actually discharged home after they had had their full medical evaluation and treatment. Several others did arrive in more serious conditions and did have to be admitted. We had one that had to be transferred over to Evanston Hospital under the care of our great neurosurgical team. We had a couple of other patients that need to be admitted to either our trauma surgical team,
Doesn't that
which are
mean
represented here,
head wound?
as well as to some of our orthopedic trauma surgeons.
Doctor, can you give us an age range of the people you treated?
Absolutely. So the age range ranged from about 8 years old was our youngest patient, up to 85 years old.
How many children?
I can't give you a specific number on the number of children, but it was definitely
Head or
around
spine,
4
yeah.
or 5.
What happens in an emergency room when you get that many gunshot victims coming in at once?
Well, we immediately have to make space for all these patients to come in, and hence why I commented before how we use some internal processes to mobilize resources. Our wonderful surgical and trauma staff were immediately alerted through emergency messaging that we had a number of patients that were going to need emergency medical services.
Hospitals like
and
this have a code for this, right? Like they have
on
a
top of
specific.
that, many other emergency physicians.
I mean, it's good that they
pediatricians,
have it
internists,
for preparedness,
surgeons,
but
trauma
they have it what?
surgeons, anesthesiologists.
Well,
and
no, I know
others
they
were
do
also
triage, but they also have
notified
like a
and
special
mobilized
preparedness
to help take
for
care
mass
of
shootings.
the number of patients that were coming in.
But mass casualty incidents, yes, but specifically mass shootings in America.
Like, after you were such a mass casualty trauma?
Well, I think, listen, there's been a lot of different events that have happened in the United States, and this obviously now has hit very close to home. It is a little surreal to have to take care of an event such as this, but all of us have gone through extensive training. We go through a number of different programs, training. We practice for these events, even though we hope they never happen. And so I think our team very admirably handled the situation today.
Chat, I'm not sure about what the insurance policy is, but yes, like in a lot of circumstances you do have to pay. I mean, in America, in most circumstances, yes, you have to pay out of pocket on top of, like, depending on what your insurance coverage is, but usually you have to pay out of pocket. Now, I don't know if this is like, I don't know if incidents like this have like additional broad coverage. There's usually a victims compensation fund, so we as Americans, on top of like paying taxes and whatnot, will end up staking more money in a helpful way to GoFundMe and mass like raise mass funds for the victims. But yes.
So this is Barb Croak. She's one of our emergency medicine nurses. She also does a number of administrative roles here at North Shore and has a wealth of experience.
Good afternoon.
Tell us what it was like for the nurses here.
So we have an amazing team of nurses who every day give 1,000% of their time and talent to their profession. They all immediately go into emergency mode, and they are trained in trauma and pediatric care as well. They have
Is the shooter
training.
killed? No, the shooter
They're
is still
amazing
alive.
people. They showed
And
their
he's
proof
at
in
large.
COVID, and now with this absolutely upsetting
The police failed to
and
apprehend the
tragic
shooter
mass shooting,
and did not give chase to the shooter.
They were fantastic.
In the chaotic situation that
multiple
ensued.
Nurses taking care of one patient at a time because there's family members, emotional support is needed, advanced trauma care, advanced emergency care, EMS personnel. So amazing squad of nurses, very proud of them. I'm very, very thrilled to call them my colleagues.
Brigham, could
Yes.
you clarify some of the numbers? You said 26 patients were taken here, 25 were gunshot wounds, and then 19 were discharged, but one person was taken to Evanston.
Yeah, so actually we had two patients that were transferred to Evanston, one of them to get further neurosurgical care. One of them was also a pediatric patient, and so our inpatient pediatric unit is over at Evanston Hospital. We had another patient who was transferred over to Skokie Hospital, which is our orthopedic specialty hospital, and another patient who was transferred down to Comer Children's Hospital after getting some emergency surgery. I would also like to add that our nursing staff were phenomenal, but the gentlemen that stand behind me here and ladies that stand behind me provided amazing emergency surgical and orthopedic care. With me is Dr. Talamonte and Dr. Andy Agos, who helps run our trauma surgery program, and the response that they made, the time in which they arrived to help support and take care of these patients was absolutely phenomenal.
Dr. Talamonte, could we speak to you for just a moment?
Sure.
You were off-site when the initial...
Second Amendment is not about hunting. It's not about ski shooting. Oh, that's great. I'm glad that he came out. I'm glad that he came out strong. Bro, he posted this at 1:32 today. He posted this an hour ago. Like, on a social media team, this motherfucker knew that a shooting had happened already, and he went out with this video, bro. They're not even, I don't know what to say about this. Like, they don't even give a fuck at this point. They're just like, because it's so normal, it's so commonplace that, like, it's not even tone deaf. It's like a flex at this point. The fuck? America's the greatest country on earth. God bless. I mean, he tweeted this before. Dude. He tweeted this at 8 a.m. Like, yeah, America was shitty even before this moment, but like, at least he has a better fucking reason for posting that before Ted Cruz did. You know what I mean? Ted Cruz saw that this shooting happened, and his social media team was like, this is a great opportunity to drop this fucking defense of guns. And the worst part is, like, he can get away with this, of course. Because that's where we're at mentally in this fucking country.
The Second Amendment, it's not about hunting. It's not about skeet shooting. It's not about recreational use of firearms. The Second Amendment is about the fundamental right you have, you, Michael Knowles, to defend your life, to protect your life, and to defend your family. And that right of life and self-defense, the ability to both keep and to bear arms, to carry them with you to protect yourself, is fundamental. And the Second Amendment is not.
Incredible work. Thank you, sir. I just want you guys, bro, I want you guys to fucking understand, like, Biden is live right now. I want you to understand, dude, like, this is a cult. Like, we're run by a fucking cult of freaks. And just like regular old televangelists, they don't believe in the fucking values. They don't believe in the value. The Jeep student. There's no difference between Ted Cruz and any other televangelist, okay? I mean, he also beefs up the Christianity side of it too. So there's that. But understand that this is a fucking death cult. And you know, the Constitution is the Bible. Supreme Court justices are like the only ones who can interpret it.
even in this hour.
This is our 4th of July
says
celebration from
we're all
Brandon.
in this together, and the ambitions of a few cannot be allowed to prevail over the aspirations of the many.
This is so wild, bro.
That's
What
how
the
I
fuck?
see America on July the 4th, as big and a big-hearted place where we debate and disagree, yet we're united by a love of country. And as it's been before in our history, in times of war and division, of growth and change, the 4th of July comes at a critical moment. Our economy is growing, but not without pain. Liberty is under assault both here and abroad. In recent days, there's been reason to think that this country is moving backward, that freedom is being reduced, that rights we assume
just in
were
recent
protected
days.
are no longer. A reminder that we remain in an ongoing battle for the soul of America, as we have for over 200 years. I know it can be exhausting and unsettling, but tonight, I want you to know we're going to get through all of this. For all that we have faced, that we are going to get through this, and look how far we've come. We're reclaiming our way of life in a pandemic. Vaccines are nearly available to every American. Restrictions lifted the 4th of July, together again at the White House. And for all the challenges, America has the strongest economy in the world. More people working and starting businesses, more young people graduating from high school and college than ever before. I just returned from an important trip the military will understand.
I love that Joe Brandon's talking about this at a time when the Supreme Court literally fucking undermined women's rights to get medical procedures by using the states' rights argument while simultaneously diminishing the states' rights arguments when it comes to the fucking gun restrictions or constitutional carry permits being offered in states like New York. So just remind yourself of that fucking fact when Biden is talking about, like, man, the economy is great, Jack.
Hard work together. You all heard what happened. You all heard what happened today. But each day we're reminded there's nothing guaranteed about our democracy. Nothing guaranteed about our way of life. We have to fight for it, defend it, and earn it by voting. To refine, evolve, and extend the calling of America to move forward boldly and unafraid. And this day reminds us of what brought us together long ago, what binds us still, and at our best, what we strive for. It's we, the people.
Whoever decided the vote harder narrative is the best way to go,
Doing all we can to ensure that the idea.
whoever decided in the Democratic, whichever fucking dumbass wonk, lanyard wearing dick skin, decided the vote harder narrative is the best one we should go with. Whoever was like, yeah, that's what we're gonna do in every speech, I would throw them in fucking jail. Straight up. One of the most, like, one of the dumbest fucking narratives, dude. One of the dumbest talking points. They say it over and over again. Hey, in this trying time, when I'm reminding you once again how powerless I am, despite the fact that you voted for me, I urge you to do the right thing and vote. Vote like you never voted before.
American truth. It's the greatest honor to serve as your commander-in-chief, and Jill and I are humbled to be with you tonight. Tomorrow, we'll be bestowing the Medal of Honor, the highest military award to heroic service members who represent the best of America, the backbone, the sinew, the spine of America. And on Thursday, I will bestow the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest civilian award, to extraordinary Americans who embody and endure the enduring character of this nation. All of them, all of you, are reminders that we're a great nation because we're a good people. It's because of you. I've never been more optimistic about America than I am today. An optimism that digs deep.
It's like you and also my dementia.
That's America.
Making me forget how bad things are.
On this day, amid the storm and strife,
because they don't tell me.
May we commit ourselves.
Don't tell me anything, Jack.
Patriotism, to the large and complex mission to protect and make a more perfect our union, make real the Declaration of our independence, ensure that America is forever a place not marked by the thirst for power at any cost, but by a covenant of trust and hope and promise. Happy 4th of July, America. May God bless America and may God protect our troops. Enjoy the day. Enjoy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks. I just met your son.
Bro, what the fuck is going... Bro, dog. Any other country on the planet where, like, there's a fucking Independence Day parade equivalent where a mass shooting happens, the entire country would be mourning. In America, because it's so fucking commonplace, we've moved on. We moved on not in a day. We moved on not even in one news cycle. We moved on in 35 minutes. He said, yeah, shit's fucked up. Now let's party. We gotta keep this shit rolling, Jack. Why? We gotta keep it alive. Did he not even bring it up? No, he did. He brought it up for a second. This is literally some fucking straight up... Bro. Dude, this is some Adam Curtis ass shit right here, dude. I swear to fucking God. This is literally like... Here, I'm gonna run this back. This is like a...
Promise. Medal of Honor. The highest military award to heroic service members who represent the best of America. On Tuesday, highest civilian award in this nation. All of them, all of you, are reminders that we're a great nation, an optimism that digs America. So on this day, amid the storm and strife, may we commit ourselves to a principled patriotism, to the large and complex mission
principled patriotism
and make a more perfect our union, make real the Declaration of our independence, ensure that America is forever a place not marked by the thirst for power at any cost. Happy for troops. America. May God bless America and may God protect our troops. Enjoy the day. Enjoy. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And then the fucking drums.
Thanks. I just met your son.
And then the fucking music comes in. And then you have like...
I come home in the evenings and I turn on the television.
To live in a lean to, your troubles must be seen to.
I fucked it up. Yeah, like this. And then after Joe Biden walked off the stage, the band kept rolling the music. Because America in that moment was a pure dystopia. And all the streets, still reeling with the violence, decided to continue partying like nothing had ever happened. Straight up. Every part of fucking America at this point, every part of America is an Adam Curtis documentary. Everything that is going on is so strange, and yet we are conditioned into thinking that this is not strange, that this is normal. One might say hyper normal. This is fucking insane. Someone just said this is like the Titanic. Yeah, the Titanic. The ship is sinking and the band is still playing. The show must go on. My man literally said, hey, enjoy the show. Fuck it. YOLO. Vote harder. Enjoy the show. And it's going. It's ongoing. Look at this. But it's not normal. It's fucking insane. Short stream, Keck W. Man, I've only been live for 4 hours. It is going to be shorter than usual. The shooting yesterday in Copenhagen is still the only thing talked about on TV and social media here in Denmark. Meanwhile, Biden doesn't even care to mention a mass shooting that happened a few hours ago. He did. He brought it up a little bit, but then he said, hey, look, it's your patriotic duty to fucking party. Just like in the aftermath, in the immediate aftermath of 9/11, your patriotic duty was to go shopping. Do you guys remember that? Do you remember that the number one thing that was pushed was consumption as a fucking virtue? Y'all remember that? Some of you were literally not fucking alive back then, so you probably don't. But in the wake of September 11, fashion designer Steve Madden was caught in a relatively minor scandal involving Dennis Leary, firefighters in shoes with fake gemstones with American flags on them. But ultimately, in the address to the nation in the evening of the 9/11 attacks, President George W. Bush reassured the public that our financial institutions remain strong and that the American economy was still open for business. And he also told people to get down to Disney World in Florida to help shore up the country's hurting airlines. He said, take your families and enjoy life the way we want it to be enjoyed. Here.
Today, our fellow citizens, our way of life, our very freedom came under attack in a series of deliberate and deadly terrorist acts. The victims were in airplanes or in their offices. Secretaries, businessmen and women, military and federal workers, moms and dads, friends and neighbors. Thousands of lives were suddenly ended by evil, despicable acts of terror. The pictures of airplanes flying into buildings, fires burning, huge structures collapsing, have filled us with disbelief, terrible sadness, and a quiet, unyielding anger. These acts of mass murder were intended to frighten our nation into chaos and retreat. But they have failed. Our country is strong. A great people has been moved to defend a great nation. Terrorist attacks can shake the foundations of our biggest buildings, but they cannot touch the foundation of America. These acts shattered steel, but they cannot dent the steel of American resolve. America was targeted for attack because we're the brightest beacon for freedom and opportunity in the world, and no one will keep that light from shining. Today, our nation saw evil, the very worst of human nature, and we responded with the best of America, with the daring of our rescue workers, with the caring for strangers and neighbors who came to give blood and help in any way they could. Immediately following the first attack, I implemented our government's emergency response plans. Our military is powerful, and it's prepared. Our emergency teams are working in New York City and Washington, D.C. to help with local rescue efforts. Our first priority is to get help to those who have been injured and to take every precaution to protect our citizens at home and around the world from further attacks. The functions of our government continue without interruption. Federal agencies in Washington, which had to be evacuated today, are reopening for essential personnel tonight and will be open for business tomorrow. Our financial institutions remain strong, and the American economy will be open for business as well. The search is underway for those who are behind these evil acts. I've directed the full resources of our intelligence and law enforcement communities to find those responsible and to bring them to justice. We will make no distinction between the terrorists who committed these acts and those who harbored them. I appreciate so very much the members of Congress who have joined me in strongly condemning these attacks. And on behalf of the American people, I thank the many world leaders who have called to offer their condolences and assistance. America and our friends and allies join with all those who want peace and security in the world. and we stand together to win the war against terrorism. Tonight I ask for your prayers for all those who grieve, for the children whose worlds have been shattered, for all whose sense of safety and security has been threatened. And I pray they will be comforted by a power greater than any of us, spoken through the ages in Psalm 23. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for you are with me.
Classic.
This is a day when all Americans from every walk of life unite in our resolve for justice and peace. America has stood down enemies before, and we will do so this time. None of us will ever forget this day, yet we go forward to defend freedom and all that is good and just in our world. Thank you. Good night, and God bless America.
Joe Biden speaking briefly about the mass shooting that happened at Highland Park at the White House July 4th celebrations and urging us to patriotically keep on partying. The exact same energy as his nation first urging Americans to keep consuming his address to the nation on the night of 9/11. Oh, significant update coming.
I'm here with Highland Park Chief of Police Lou Jogman, who's going to provide a substantial update.
Here's a critical update from the Highland Park Bridge.
Lou Jogman, L-O-U-J-O-G-M-E-N, and Chief of Police for the City of Highland Park, Illinois. On behalf of the city, we extend our condolences to the family and friends of the loved ones who were impacted by this.
Guys, it's raining. Shut the fuck up. Stop putting way too dank in the chat.
Our investigators have been working tirelessly on this active shooter investigation. Through law enforcement partnerships and community information and leads, a person of interest has been identified. His name is Robert Bobby E. Crimo, C-R-I-M-O III. He is 22 years of age. He is believed to be driving a 2010 silver Honda Fit vehicle, license plate, Illinois, D. David M. Mary 80653. We have numerous federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies working on apprehending this person of interest. We continue to receive tips from the public and law enforcement partners, and we are following up on every one of them. Individuals who have information to share with the police are urged to contact 1-800-CALL-FBI. Thank you.
Quickly try to answer some questions. Please understand that we have teams out very actively trying to apprehend this individual. He is considered armed and dangerous. Community should not approach him. If they see him, know his whereabouts, see the vehicle, dial 911. We are considering him very dangerous.
Was it the gun, or what led you to this guy's name?
I can't get into that yet, but investigative leads have led us to this point. Yep.
Where is he from?
At this time, we're just going to give you the name and license plate information. We're concerned about everybody's safety. So Robert E. Crimo, C-R-I-M-O III, 22 years of age, believed to be driving a 2010 silver Honda Fit, Illinois license plate, D. David M. Mary 80653.
Are there any updates from the shelter in place? I know that there were some changes regarding the perimeter.
Okay, I'm going to take that.
So what we said in our last update, that stands. The main area, those 4 square blocks, we're asking people just to remain extra diligent, stay there. We'll get police escorts outside of there. Be very vigilant. This person is on the loose. We're working to try to figure out if he is local or if he is taken off to another area. We have multiple teams doing that right now. So we ask, give our law enforcement some time to do their job and try to apprehend him safely.
Where's he from?
He's from the area.
Chief, from Highland Park?
From this area. We'll have more on that later. Additionally, we will have photos going out shortly of him and a similar vehicle that he is believed to be driving.
What's the first letter of his last name?
C. C. Charles Primo.
Chad is already on it, dude. Holy shit.
We don't have updates. Again, the reunification post at the Highland Park
We don't know if
Police
this is the
Department
person,
still
okay?
there.
We don't know if
Anybody
it's
that's been
like some
separated or
fucking
looking
rapper
for
dude,
family-
okay? Don't rush to these conclusions. Do not immediately make the assumption. I know it's a really fucking unique name, but you don't know. Also, that guy is 21 years old, born September 20th, 2000. Yeah, it's probably different. Robert Eugene Bobby Cremo the third. Wait, did they say Eugene as well? What the fuck? They just said E? Yep, they found his... Okay, well, you guys definitely found his dad. Or his grandfather. Probably not his dad, his grandfather. On chat is losing its grip. Yeah. What? Fuck.
Breaking through is unnecessary. I know what I have to do. I know what's in it.
Oh no. Okay, the likelihood that this is the dude is okay. Okay. That's That's a video. That is a video from the video that chat sent me is archive footage from October 15, 2021. At least it was archived on October 15, 2021. Why the fuck is this available? Why did someone just like archive all the shit that this dude was posting? There is so much archive footage on this dude. If this is actually him. Hold on, I'm going to Oh, he was doing it himself. If this is him. Come on. Biri girdi. Ha yok. Delayed. Delayed. This account has been seized by the ARDT. What the fuck is ARDT? Neydi? Delay değil mi? Evet. Look. Can you explain for those not looking at links? Okay. The police released the name. The police released the name of the suspect of the person of interest in this shooting. They didn't say he was a suspect. They just said he's a person of interest, and they said he was armed and or potentially very dangerous. Okay? Now, when that happened, of course, this chat, we don't even know if this is the guy that did it. They considered him to be armed. We don't know if this is the guy that did it. But the person with a corresponding name is like a fucking rapper. And like a weird a very weird rapper. Okay? But there's a rap song that or not a rap, but there's one, he archived all of his old footage too. But there is like drawings in this archive footage where he's like shooting at like innocent people, basically. I don't know, once again, I don't know if he's the guy. We don't know if he's the guy. He might be just a fucking random person with the same exact name. So don't. What's a weird rapper? Did you turn the info into the cops? Are you asking me? How the fuck would I turn this information into the cops? Turn it over into the cops, brother. But this is still irresponsible without actual confirmation. This is irresponsible without actual fucking confirmation that this is that person. Okay? So we're not going to do that. Don't do this whole fucking Reddit bullshit chat. We have time and time again. We have time and time again got caught up in this idea that we know exactly what the fuck it is, and everybody rushes to do the Reddit detective thing. Now, you might be right in this circumstance, but it's still better to wait for further confirmation from authorities and from news broadcasters that at the very least can go on the fucking ground and make it, get doubly assurance. I can't even talk. Get assurances and get confirmations from victims or potentially from the family members of this person. Okay? He has a blog spot. If this is the person, there's like a blog spot. He like archived all of his stuff. It seems like he was the person that everyone is linking is like, oh shit, everyone is already all over this fucking Reddit. Robert Cremo doesn't exist. Okay, dude, what the fuck? It already has 829 people online. His Instagram is fucking blowing up from the last time I looked at it. His archive footage is blowing up from 9 to, Jesus Christ. Look, we don't know. We don't know anything. They haven't figured out his fucking Wikia yet. There's another guy who comes from Highland, Illinois. They took his Instagram down. Anyway, we're not doing any of this, okay? We're not doing any of this. We're not doing any of this. We're not doing any of this. We're going to move on from now. It's a lead. Police say any information helps correct information. Brother, there's a difference between a bunch of fucking people in this chat being like, yo, this is the guy, this is the guy.
Really traumatizing.
And fucking linking to like random shit. There's a difference between that and assuming that this is the fucking guy versus proper media channels verifying and fact checking before releasing information like this. Please stop. The only thing we know right now is that the person of interest is in Highland Park. Okay? He has been identified by the police as a 22-year-old Robert Bobby E. Crimo, Crimo, and he may be driving a 2010 silver Honda Fit. Plate number is DM80653. That's it. Okay? And he is suspected to be, he's a person of interest. He is suspected to be armed and dangerous. I know it's, look, no matter in a situation like this, no matter how perfectly it fits, because the shooter, the rapper who's like stuff that you're sending me fits the mold, okay? No matter what happens, in a situation like this, instead of getting caught up in mass hysteria, you need to take a deep breath. Okay? You need to take a deep breath. You don't know if this is the person. You don't know if this is the person. You just don't know yet. Someone needs to, proper channels need to literally fucking investigate this matter and release this information. Okay? Stop. You are the guys who are fucking doing crazy shit. Stop linking shit. Yes. If you are wrong, you end up ruining the life of a random fucking person. Okay? When things like this happens, what you have to do, take a deep breath and wait for further information and further clarification to come out. You don't know if the cops fucked up and possibly decided the wrong person was a suspect. Okay? I know the cops said the third also. I know. The reason why I cover, did they put a photo out? They showed his picture on the news? Okay, let me see. I'm muted. I know I'm muted. Someone Picture on NBC News. Someone link me that, please. Here. Go to CNN for now. I'll actually watch you now that you apologize after that ridiculous outburst to X. Fuck my cock. You're permanently banned. I don't need you, you dumb fuck.
That they get as much information out as possible to the public. Someone somewhere will spot him and lead authorities to him to make an arrest, hopefully.
Never come back in here ever again, you fucking idiot.
Just said they're
on.
Our investigators have been working tirelessly on this active shooter investigation. Through law enforcement partnerships and community information and leads, a person of interest has been identified. His name is Robert Bobby E.
Oh, dude,
Crimo,
wait, is this for real?
C-R-I-M-O the third.
Oh yeah, it's him.
He's 22 years of age.
If the authorities are saying this is him, then yes, they're